So, this is what we got going on. It's Sunday. I survived another one. How about you folks? Ring out, sign on, stand up, be counted. Remember this simple truism. Any day you're on the right side of the dirt is a good fucking day. I usually try to run these with some kind of recap of the week and such modern nonsense. So, let's recap the week. Some car lot work came in, that was about it. Painted some wheels. I had a minivan come in for a guy, and he said, I need this fender, and let me see, the owner of the vehicle is what they call a new customer. The guy in question I was talking to is probably my highest quantity of repeat customer. I wouldn't say highest volume, because all little jobs I do for the guy, he just flips cars. And he says, I need a fender for this car, so I order it. Everybody shows up with deposit for parts. He would be there, I knew it, so we took care of it. We got it going. Van shows up, part shows up same day. It's the wrong fucking side. I reorder, and it shows back up Friday. This was last week, not this week. So I don't even look at it. I inspect the part, make sure it's good. Then I shag ass. I move on. I paint it and get all ready to throw on. I was going to try to come in Saturday. I didn't. We were busy with kids and family stuff. So then I come back in Monday. They exchanged a left fender for a left fender when I needed the right. So I wound up doing some body work on that. I got a little video about getting your body lines back when you're doing body work. Quick little nothing. It's been like a month now, basically, since Jeremy's been around the shop. I found out he went over to the guy we did the C10 for. He's over there at J-Town. It could be a really good fit for the two of them. It means I wouldn't probably do much more work for J-Town, but I'm not going to get bitter or upset or pissy. I mean, everybody's got to do what they got to do for themselves first and their families. And that was the job offered. I'm not doubting. So, he's kind of over there. I may swing out there this summer, see how things are going. Hopefully he finds himself a good fit. Hopefully Trevor finds himself a good fit, and Jeremy can be the body man that I know he could be if he wanted to. So that's kind of cool. He bounced back from leaving the shop quickly, which I was hoping for. That's a thing right there. You can't hold anger or hate in your heart. You got to be able to genuinely enjoy other people's victories, little victories, big victories. Otherwise, you're just too closed off. Let me see here. Banging away on the money, of course, but that's just not a big deal stuff going on. I got a call actually last night, and for whatever reason I called it back Saturday night, and it snowed like a son of a bitch here. I had to walk through almost foot deep snow to get back to my old car here where I'm storing it. And it's just quiet out. It's nice. It's very nice. You look across the way where the interstate's at, 'cause 3580 runs, I don't know, maybe a half a mile, 3/4 mile away. I don't know, maybe it's a whole mile. Anyhow, it's just north of me. And this is where 35 and 80 merge for a short while. But I dig the snow. Bad thing, I let us run out of firewood. I got some pallets down at the shop to drag home. But I gotta dig out some of this elm and split it up too, or else it's just not gonna work out. It's a little chilly today. I think it's down in the 30s. It's gotta be down in the 30s, right? It's fucking snowing. But it's not too bad. Gosh. That's the summation of the whole, really. I know I shot a little footage last night and I rambled a while, but really there's nothing much to ramble on. My big plan here in the near future, not so distant even, maybe about 2.5, 3 months, I'm going to drag this down to the shop. I'm going to drag my pickup in. I got a 79 C20, and I got that 53 Chevy. I put that 53 Chevy up on the block on Craigslist for sale. We'll see. It's a solid New Mexico car, and I'm anxious to build it. But if I can get out of it what I want out of it, if I can sell it, because I'm only going to sell it for one price. I had it set up on Craigslist for $4,000. But again, it's solid. All the tires hold air. They're reasonable. Key works. All the doors work. Floorboards are solid. I mean, this is a solid old car. To restore it, I think it'd be kind of silly. Hot rodding it out would be more the speed. But it'd put me in a position to make a few moves. I intend to do some car flips, so you guys will see some real mundane, ratty footage. I'm dragging in some mechanic work. I got a van, well, that minivan, it came back. The guys' mechanics are addicts. Literally, they're addicts. So they do a little bit of work, go out and score some rock, and then they're gone for a few days. That being that, he brought it down to me, but I got to get it test driven around and make the check engine light come on. All your modern cars, you don't know nothing about nothing until an engine light comes on, then it'll tell you what you got to do. I keep a little palm scanner for all modern cars, just out of good habit. But I may have to call my buddy Stevie. He's got a big diagnostic machine. He'll probably charge me $50 to come plug it in, but that's his prerogative, and that's his good business, you know. That's good business is what that is. If you can plug it in, you can tell me what's going on. I unplugged the battery on it when I was working on it because I had doors and shit open. I still managed to kill the fucking battery, so I had to charge it up. I've been on the ball, getting some videos shot, getting videos up. I'm actually into January now of this year, so I'm only, a couple weeks behind footage-wise, and a few small segments is all it is. But again, getting those videos up, and I appreciate you all coming in, checking in, saying, hey, what's up? We had a... Man, I've been getting some really great comments down below. I've been getting some thumbs down, which encourages me. Oh, pardon me. It encourages me. It means that my videos are getting out there on a wider scope. People that aren't exactly tuned in are watching, which is kind of cool, because some of them like what I got to say, what I got to do. Some of them don't, and that's all right, you know. So with all that, we got a guy up in Pennsylvania, and he asked me about the vans, the service vans. Like, are you serious? You had to rework something you fixed a while ago? And yes, and the short story is, the first time through, it's a father-son combo. They both own HVAC companies. The son, he wanted it done quick, dirty, and fast. So I just snapped some shit together, got it painted, got it out. And I started complaining. A couple of these vans had recurring issues. I started complaining. I'm like, well, all you wanted to pay for was a scrub and shoot. There was a hole there, so I patched it. Well, what I didn't do, I didn't prime the backside of the panel that I put on. I didn't wax or primer or seal the interior of that cavity at all. And that's what brings your problems back. He did suggest I take my sample of weld through and maybe some other differently prepared pieces of steel and set them outside. Go out and spritz them with brine every now and again. See how they hold up. Do a 6-month test on it. I think it's a cool idea. I think that'll be a cool little video set, and audience participation is always cool. So I'm going to go, this week or next, I'll go ahead and get some samples set up. Another thing that he suggested and talked about is a body cavity spray by a company called Worth, WRTH, and it's a wax. And you go and you spray the interior of the cavity once you got it cut open, or you drill little holes, and you shoot the cavity full of this wax, and it prevents that rust from coming back long term. You can get years instead of months. So I'm down with this idea. I'm going to go find some of this Worth, and I'm going to give it hell too. I'm going to see what it does for me. That should be a neat lesson for all of us in what to do, what not to do, how best to prepare these things. So I think that'd be a fun little science project for us. Let me see, the Monte Carlo, I'm kind of bummed about it because I'm kind of stunted. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to start undercoating next week and fishing around gas lines. I cut one of the steel vent tube lines with the plasma cutter when I took the trunk pan out. So I got to crawl up underneath there and repair that. And then I plan to scrub the undercarriage, pour 15, and undercoat. Well, pour 15 where it's still rusted, so I can encapsulate the rust. Everything from the rear seat forward, the rear wheel arches forward, has been left. So I'm going to knock the scale off and shoot it with pour 15. Video forthcoming. Like I said, I won't have my sealer till Wednesday, which all this is my fault. I'm behind schedule most of a week, and it's all my fault because I didn't order the sealer soon enough. I didn't a lot of things, okay? And this week was kind of zen and quiet. I'd go and I'd plug my earphones in and listen to Robert Heinlein science fiction books on tape, or my iPod, but they were ripped off of the original cassettes. So yeah, it's just been real mellow. The last 2 days in the shop, I could have done a hell of a lot more than I had. I was just dickering around with this car Friday. With the humidity raising and the temperatures dropping, it took things forever to dry. That's that. I got that call last night I was telling you, and I guess a school teacher went and dickered up her car a little bit. She's got a 2010 Impala. The bumper covers are jacked up, so we're going to look at those tomorrow about lunchtime. I'm just going to drag whatever work I can into the shop. I've got a couple people that would come work for me. So I got to get the money straight, right? So I guess in some respects I'm going to have to become the agent and get a couple, 3 people in there, and my workload will diminish, or my work progress will diminish, but if I can get a couple helpers in there, it'll increase dramatically. I just have to play pit boss. I get mixed feelings about that right now. I've had pretty poor fortunes thus far, right? I've made mistakes We all do. That's part of the growing curve, the learning curve. That's that. I'm going to peel up out of here. I'm going to finish this, my morning chain smoke routine. First cup of coffee, first couple cigarettes is always that way. See, I'm finding that's going to be the hard part about when I do decide it's time, I'm quitting and I'm done. There's nothing like a fucking cigarette with a cup of coffee. Or a cigarette after a big meal. That's going to be the one that gets me. But that's kind of that, man. Like I said, we've had some great comments, people popping in saying, hey. I dig it, and I'm entering a whole new era in what I'm doing and what I'm fucking with, really. You got to maintain a certain level of humility, but you also have to know and understand your worth. Here's the big one, and this trap I fall in repeatedly. If the guy next door is doing the job for $400, you don't have to do the job for $200. Even if you can do the job for $200, you can do that person a solid at $375. Does that make sense? So you got to figure out and get your thumb on the pulse of the market, what the market is bearing, what it's yielding around you locally. And that varies widely. But I know I can do every bit as good a work as the next guy. I'm going to start focusing and pushing as much as I can the metalwork side of things. Because no matter how much you read, no matter how much you're in a lab, in a trade school, you have to have a feel for it. Yeah, there's something very organic between man and machine and material that has to happen. And I do know I have that on my side. I've been blessed there. So why am I chasing the same table scraps everybody else is when I can regroup a little bit? And it's like that 79 C20. I want to pull it in, get it running, I'll scrub it and undercoat it. Because for an Iowa truck, it's solid. There's no rust holes in that old square body. There's some holes in the bed, but those are from trauma, not rust. So I'm going to get it all worked up and working and doing what it's supposed to and get it set up. I want to drop a Miller Bobcat or Trailblazer in the back of it. I see them pop up every now and again. I saw a Hobart too. I want to try to get something that I can run a TIG box on. Set up a big oxygen acetylene setup on it, get a toolbox, get a fuel tank. Give me a fuel tank that's split gasoline and diesel, because most likely any generator welder I buy will be diesel. So I can spend some time out in the field, out of the shop. As far as I know, there's only one outfit in the Des Moines area that does mobile welding still. And I happen to know they're charging, in excess of $100 an hour to do this. A few times I've gone out and done mobile welding, you have to. Generally speaking, you charge from when you show up till you leave. Well, oft times there's prep, materials gathering. You gotta come and size everything up and leave and come back. You could waste a day on something that would take you 2 hours in the shop. So you gotta make up for that. So we're gonna see how that runs, right? I've got some vehicles I've got to get in the shop, operable or sold. We're going to cruise on from there. You folks have a good Sunday. I'm going to go and finish my coffee. I'm going to make some breakfast for the family, unless they've already gotten into that themselves. Kind of go from there. That's my week in review, as it were. So keep the comments coming. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You know, I really don't care. I'm just tickled shitless that people are watching, that people are connecting. I'm thrilled to make videos that are relevant, and I'm looking for holes in what's out there in the YouTube lineup to make videos appropriate to fill those voids. I took that video I made of the Weld Through Primer. It's from the Impact line, which is a Sturdivant's home brand. That's only them. But that particular product is formulated and packaged for Impact by U-POL, which I've diverted all of my body fillers and everything like that, my short strand fiberglass, all that I've diverted away from Evercoat and went with U-POL. I really like the products a lot, and they're worth it. A short strand is less money than Evercoat, and it lays out like your Evercoat Z-Grip. Short strand fiberglass lays out like a mid-range body filler. Maybe better. And this shit doesn't separate like Evercoat does. So it's good down to the last drop, literally. If you're buying a higher end body filler, because I get the Flyweight Gold from U-POL, have them throw that son of a bitch on a shaker. Some of your vendors are going to be like, oh, you're going to get pinholes, oh, it's going to be problems, blah, blah. Well, maybe so, but I slick sand all these before I finish them, or at the very least I primer the smaller jobs. And that's going to fill your pinholes, so who cares? But, fuck yeah. I'm excited. It's a new year, it's a new week, it's a new beginning, it's a whole new scenario. Keep the comments coming, throw up some suggestions. Like I said, I want to fill some voids where there's relevance. I didn't do all this by myself, and I don't do all this for myself. I'm not just out here waxing poetic to hear myself talk for the most part. There's a lot of you out there, and a lot of folks locally around me, well, a handful of folks around me locally, and people through Facebook that help, that I learn from, that teach me something regularly, and I want to hand that back. I want to leave, before I'm ashes and dust, I want to affect the world around me in a positive manner, leave it a little bit better than I found it. That's my goal in life. So keep all that coming in. Let me know what you folks think. Good or ill, let me know what you folks think. Yeah. Big Irish mug. I will talk to you later.